Hold up your hand. Hold up your hand. If you're ready to hear about this gentleman. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Candice Buchanan Show right here on 98.5 Island Fever FM. And, of course, the voice of the Caribbean in South Florida. Shout out to y'all. If you're in traffic right now, which more than likely you are, I hear it is storming crazy in South Florida right now. Crazy, crazy storms right now. So y'all be careful on the roads out there. I'm about to hit you with some information. I'm about to make you proud of your Caribbean American community and be proud to be Caribbean American right now. Port St. Lucie, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Plantation, Orlando. I'm introducing you to a gentleman who should be celebrated in our community, for sure. He's Tobago born. We always hear about Trinidad. When I hear about Tobago, the man grew up in Tobago, right? Tobago is always sound like an afterthought, man. It's true, he's laughing. But it's true. They always sound like an afterthought, but they're not. Big up to everyone from Tobago, the Tobago crew, Trinbago crew, of course. Music producer, songwriter, arranger, a recording engineer, filmmaker, author, educator, and entrepreneur. Grew up in Bethany Village, Mount Pleasant, Tobago. Big up Mount Pleasant Massive. Where his love for music began at an early age. The man played piano. He was in the choir. He was in an orchestra. And, of course, he played the steel pan. I mean, come on. He's a Full Sail University graduate, y'all. Shout out to the Full Sail Massive and crew. Boop, 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 boop. The entire studio full of Full Sail people. What is happening here? Including myself. I am a 2013 graduate of Full Sail University. And he's currently a professor in music and entertainment business, like me. Yes, big up yourself, sir. Music and entertainment. A professor from all the way from Tobago to being a professor. He's the founder of samsdigital.net, digital marketing and media services company, Music Log, and you hear that? A 2 company me reach. This is the 3rd one. Online entertainment and music production publication. The man have a lot of businesses and he's a professor. Why this man sound like me? But you know, we got to celebrate this gentleman because he's also an author, which I am not. An author of the book Hybrid Executive, the New Terminology and Responsibilities of Today's Artist, which explores how technology has transformed the music industry and the role of today's independent artist. He's collaborated with artists the likes of B2K, 112, Horace Brown, Nardira. Yes, Lord Candice. Nardira. He's laughing at me because we had this problem earlier today. And many other artists. Also, he's collaborated. He's done music and had music featured on television shows. So Dr. 90210, his music is on that show. A Caribbean American's music is on that show. Wanna clap the man in the car, man. Clap him. Clap him wherever one is. We have to when my sound effect. When you want sound effect, DJ and I give you sound effect. Right? Thank you, please. Thank you, DJ Scotty. Both here watch sports. And of course, 90210. Millionaire Matchmaker, Property Ladder, and other productions. I'm going to introduce this gentleman to you right now. The man is a New York Knicks fan. Big up all the Knickses. That's you know, do them thing this weekend. What is that, sir? That's right?
That's right. We waited long for this one.
Yeah, man. Una long suffering for real.
I stayed quiet because I didn't want to jinx it. And when they won, I couldn't believe it. I had to pinch myself a couple times.
My gosh, welcome to the show. This is Mr. Sam Archer.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
You're welcome,
nice
my
meeting
friend.
the squad and Full Sail folks as well, and Full Sail grads.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Shout out to Full Sail.
Got it. Big shout out to Full Sail. And of course, definitely shout out to the Tobago Massive.
Yes,
now,
yes.
talk us through that journey for you. You know, moving from how you reach here? How you reach? Was it a patty pan?
I took a plane.
Was it a boat?
Yeah, I took a plane.
You took a plane?
Took a plane, yes.
But why did you take the plane? What prompted you to take the plane and come to these parts?
Well, fortunately, my family had ties here before, so it was part of the plan. I had done CXC. Those of you are familiar with the Caribbean.
Yes, me did do CXC too.
You did
yes.
CXC as well?
I sure did. Yes,
Wow.
And yes, I did CXC.
So
and common entrance.
Yeah, right. They call it. I think they call it C now.
CSEC.
CSEC, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought it was the letter C, and they know it was SEA.
Yes, that is
secondary. Something assessment. Secondary education assessment, I think. They change it up.
Yeah, they keep they change it like every 15 years, 10, 15 years, and create something else. But I believe wholeheartedly they need to go back to putting mental ability that we did in common entrance.
Yes.
Because I think that is the biggest. I'm digressing here, but maybe talk about this one.
Free up, man. Free up.
The mental ability, I think if our young people were taking that course, critical thinking would be a lot more rampant amongst our young people, if you know what I mean. Me love no young people, me just say, like, the level of problem solving skills that people over a certain age have that went through doing that mental ability assessment.
Yes.
Is different. We just think differently. We're problem solvers. We don't focus on the problem. We focus on the solution. So me definitely put that in there. But you come a foreign after CSEC or common entrance CXC.
Yes, after CXC.
And you landed whereabouts?
Brooklyn, New York, and enrolled at New York City Technical College.
And you wanted to do music. You knew that right away.
Well, truth be told, when you have Caribbean parents, they have
other plans.
So my dad was in the medical field, so he was pushing things in that direction.
Ooh, they tried to make you a doctor. Oh, Lord.
That's
one of the hardest things for a creative. My parents tried that too.
No, they tried that.
Yo, lad. And when you push a creative into a math-heavy skill or like a skill that doesn't require them to really use, you're requiring them to follow what was done before and not create, and it's very difficult for us to do. How did that work out when you tell your father you wanted to do, or your parents you wanted to do music?
I try to do both,
Smart man.
Yes, let me do a little.
You want them pay for school?
You need some help, but to their defense, when they came here, it wasn't about what they liked. It was about, look, we had to keep a roof. So I got the tail end of that. But I think eventually they saw, look, this guy, he really want to do something else. He didn't really want to do all this stuff.
Good for your parents for noticing that and allowing you to fly. So you go to school and you get into music. How did you get into the B2Ks of the world and the 112s of the world and working with these major artists?
So, good question. Around New York, you do a lot of as a musician. You play at different churches, you meet different people, and as you meet people, you increase your contacts. And you sort of push a certain direction. And interestingly enough, a lot of people that were pursuing a career went to church. So, if you went to a church, you might see this person that's already doing something and you sort of connect with that one. And Sometimes they might need a background vocalist in this session, or they might need someone to come and play some additional keyboards in this session. One of the connects I made was connecting with a production team called Trackmasters. And I think with hanging with Trackmasters for a little bit, I was able to get into a lot of the major studios. And I'm following instructions here, sorry.
No, man, you're all right. I'm hearing you perfectly fine.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. So you went to secular music through church. I can hear a Caribbean grandmother right now screaming at the radio going, you see?
Yeah, well, partially. I mean, I also did do a lot of gospel stuff. So ended up getting into production. I met a mentor of mine. He passed on recently, but his name is Alan Chase, and he was able to take me and another friend of mine and give us some good tips and showed us what production was and what was recording. We listened to a couple of records, answered our questions, so that's
give you a lot of training and get you started.
Get me started, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you gone way past that now, because you're doing music for big stars and also television shows. Tell us about that. How did you fall into television shows? And then tell me, how does being from the Caribbean, being from a place like Tobago, influence the style of your music and the way you work, the style of your work, like your flow, your workflow? So
to get onto a lot of the TV shows, the idea is to connect with music libraries. So I joined a few music libraries. Some of them had, conferences or lectures or seminars they would do. So I'll go, connect with some of those guys. And some of them you had to take like a subscription, and they would send you leads. Hey, this person is looking for, and it's leads from filmmakers. This filmmaker is looking for this. This filmmaker is looking for that. And once in a while, a music library would say, hey, we're looking for, So I did. I think this particular time, right, because I was getting all these different leads, and normally when you get the lead, a zillion stuff would, this was back in the day when you had to mail CDs and stuff like that.
Look here, don't say those things to these young people. They don't know what you're talking about. CD.
Well, yeah.
We got about a minute and 22 seconds before the next break. But so I'm gonna let you finish your thought. But no, I may cut you so we can take the break and come on back, guys. This is a very interesting discussion we are having with a Caribbean American who is definitely a trailblazer and definitely doing his thing in our community. It is Caribbean American Heritage Month. My name is Candice Buchanan, and I've got sitting here with me Mr. Sam Archer. You're going to hang out with us for a little bit, yes?
A Lyman.
Yes, man. The man Lyman. Hey. He's liming with us. He's going to lime with us for, at least till the top of the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more with Mr. Sam Archer and some dancehall music, because why not? Listening to the sounds of Mr. Vibes Cartel on the Candice Buchanan Show. Brand new. Newer than new. It is our Fresh Drop Monday here on the Candice Buchanan Show. And as I told you, all month long, we're celebrating Caribbean American Heritage Month. And I got a music man in the studio. We've got Mr. Sam Archer representing Tobago in the building. Big up Tobago every time.
That's right.
That's right. And if you missed our little chat earlier on, this man is extraordinary. I mean, he has companies. He's written a book on, let me tell you the name of the book, Hybrid Executive. The new terminology and responsibilities of today's artists. And that explores technology, how technology has transformed the music industry and the role of independent artists, of today's independent artists. So, yeah, if you're an artist, grab the book. If you work in the industry, grab the book. If you're from the Caribbean, just grab the book, because the man from the Caribbean support the youths, okay? And right now, though, as your Caribbean queen, I have got to turn our conversation a little bit more towards your Caribbean American heritage. Yes, it is Caribbean American Heritage Month, and as someone who has been in Brooklyn, New York, which a lot of us landed in Brooklyn, New York.
That's right. Yeah.
And now you've kind of found your way into a different part of America, but still within the Caribbean American diaspora. How do you think it has changed? Our diaspora has changed, and our influence on the mainstream has changed over the years.
It changed in the upward direction. What you have to look at the Caribbean as a inter-American, because the islands are pretty much geographically close to the mainland, and then you're looking at the indigenous people that they inhabited the islands, but they also inhabited the mainland. So there's a lot of relationships there. But if you look at what our grandparents who came first had to do and connect, then you had your parents that would come and do what they had to do. They took it from A to B, then one group took it from B to C. So we can now think about, hey, I'm interested in this, so I'm interested in production, I'm interested in medicine, I'm interested in research, I'm interested in agriculture, So I think it's been an upward direction.
There's one of us everywhere, in every industry, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
There is one of us in every industry. We've spread our tentacles, certainly, across the United States and across the globe, dare I say. We're a very powerful diaspora, especially in Florida, South Florida especially. Mm-hmm. But here in Central Florida, I have found that though we have a lot of very educated, very accomplished people like yourself, nobody knows about them. Mm-hmm. I can turn on TikTok, I can turn on, I go to any city in South Florida, and somewhere in legislature, I'm going to find a Caribbean American. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in the school board, somewhere in public service, even in the private sector, just killing it, just doing stuff. Mm-hmm. But here in Central Florida, we're a little harder to find. And for me, it bothers me. Mm. That's why we started Island Fever. Also, it's to kind of get us all to unite in one place. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's what South Florida has over Orlando, is they have a place to communicate. They have a place to coalesce around. They have a community that they can build because they have media. They have communication, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, now Orlando will have it. So make sure you download the app, Island Fever Plus, on your TV, because you're going to be watching Caribbean movies soon. We're going to have live events as well on there. Like we had Carnival for 7 hours live the other day.
Oh.
Video, yeah, the whole thing. Orlando Carnival downtown was live.
All right.
So with your work in the industry, you are now a teacher. You teach people how to make their way in the music industry. What's your advice for a student, a Caribbean American student, or a Caribbean or a child of Caribbean descent that has that culture hurdle, that additional hurdle that everyone has hurdles, white, black, in different, but the Caribbean Americans have that additional hurdle of our culture being so very different that we tend to not fit in, and we either rub people the right way or we rub them in a severely wrong way, and they don't give us the grace of understanding that it is just our culture, right? We are forced into blending into their culture, and we're forced into accepting African American culture or American culture in general, but nobody is taking the time to try to understand us. So how when we're walking into these spaces where there's not so many of us, how does one conduct themselves? What is the advice that you have to give for any music professional that is of Caribbean descent trying to make it in the USA?
Wow, I feel like the wise man on a hill. It has to do with us putting value in what we do. And value is like, me being invited here. Value is putting a price on what it is we do, putting some sort of a worth on it. And those of us who would either do the carnival, as what you spoke about just now, and similar events, we have to get back to those types of things, because that's one of the things we've missed. And I remember growing up, I would be playing with all types of cousins and family, and I haven't done that in years.
It's pretty splintered, isn't it?
Right, and my kids might not even know all the cousins and all the, I might not even know all my nieces and nephews right now, because we're just so sparse out.
Yes, we're splintered. We're all over, and
yes.
We're all over all these cities. So I agree with that. We've got to, in order for us to walk confidently into these spaces that don't understand us, we need the power of our community.
Yes.
To give us the confidence to carry said community on our backs when we walk in proudly.
Yes.
Proudly. And that's why you're here today. Because we need to expose more Caribbean Americans that are doing the right thing.
Yes.
That can be can be an inspiration to a young kid out there. There's a child right now in the car, or a teenager right now in the car, listening to their mom. Their mom probably forcing them to listen to reggae music right now. Or their dad. Or they're at home and they're doing chores and they're pissed off, but Island Fever is playing on the Apple TV or Roku or something. And they're hearing a man who has worked with some of the biggest names in music, but who also is using that talent of music to work in television, who probably didn't even know that was a thing, right? They thought they had to just rap. But they can use the influence of their music, their culture, and they can carry that, their flag, whatever your flag is from the Caribbean, and carry that high.
Yes.
And that's why for my Tobago peeps, y'all should feel proud right now, because Sam Archer is blazing a serious path for you guys right here in Central Florida.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. So it's really the value. Oh, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, man. Go ahead, man. You the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Oh, okay. So yeah, I think once we can put value into what we do, and put some thought into it. When we're planning something, or on various levels, on the level of business, on the level of culture, on the level of education, on the level of even mentoring, making ourselves available to share with the students, or even with each other, and sharing opportunities.
Sharing opportunities.
Yes.
Very, very important. So as we go back to the music, I want to know what are some of the projects that you're working on right now. Where I work pan?
What may I work pan? I don't really have a specific thing, but what I've been doing in the last 3 years is that I sort of jumped back into the soca calypso.
What a lie!
And started this thing called Walk Up, and it was like it's a rhythm. We call it a Walk Up rhythm. I did a volume 1. It was a really full project. We had a couple of cool people. We had people like Lema Calbio. I don't know if you know those names. Roger George. We had who else we had on there? We had a brother from Trinidad, Screws, and Oren Richards. We had a couple of notables. Oh, we had Hawkeye. from Jamaica.
Watch
yeah.
out.
So he worked on one of the
So you're
records.
blending the music and the genres. We're loving it. We're loving it.
We had some fun with him. With Hawkeye was on the project. Now last year I started a little late, so we just did like one rhythm, and I had Roger George, I had Yolanda from Tobago, Yolanda Thomas, and Chantal Campbell. I don't know if you might know her. She sings around down there. Shout out to Chantal. So they were on that version. So I'm supposed to actually start working on Walk Up Rhythm 3.
Hey, Walk Up Rhythm 3. Are we submitting it for Carnival, Trinity?
Well, Tobago started their own carnival in a couple of years ago, but it happens in October. So that's like the new thing. So
okay,
I'm going to be shooting.
Sending it for
time and then
Tobago. Well, Walk Up Rhythm is coming, and of course, you know we're going to drop it right here on the Fresh Drop Mondays on the Candice Buchanan Show.
It sounds good. Sounds good. I bet.
Sound like a plan, people. We got to get y'all starting to move and pump to it. Well, I want to thank you for coming in and chatting with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Mr. Sam Archer, author, songwriter, arranger, recording engineer, filmmaker, and author and entrepreneur.
That was a mix. That was a remix.
That was a mix. Got a big thank you so much for coming through and chatting with us. We're gonna go back to the music. I promise no more talking, y'all. We're going to some dancehall music here on the Candice Buchanan Show. This is Fresh Drop Monday. Thank you for joining us, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
For more information on Sam, check out our Instagram page, Island Fever Plus.